Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sallam. So we went over the pillars of the Salah, which were 17, and today we're going to go over the 8 requirements for prayer. So the requirements are, they're like, you have to, if you don't meet these requirements, you can't pray. So the first one is at-tahara an al-hadathain. It's being pure from both hadiths. What are the hadiths? There's a small hadith and there's a big hadith. So the small hadith is like when you go to the washroom, someone pees or otherwise, that's called small hadith. And also like farting and stuff like that. And a big hadith is if someone had a wet dream, or if they're married and they have intercourse, or if a woman has a period, that's the big hadith. So you have to be pure from both of that. So the small hadith requires you to do wudu. Let's say you go to the washroom, you have to do wudu. And the big hadith requires you to wash your whole body with water, take a shower. Okay, that's the first one. And the second one is tahara. Tahara an najasa fi ath-thawb wal-badan wal-makan. Being pure or free from filth on your body, clothes, and place of prayer. So you can't have any filth. What's filth? It's like blood, or if someone throws up, or pee or poo. What else? A dead animal, even a small insect. All of that stuff is considered filth. So you have to not have any of that on yourself, or your clothes, or the place, your prayer mat, or the place you're praying at. You can't have any of that stuff. And also the dog is also najasa, and the pig as well. Also meat that's not been slaughtered, it's also najasa, and so on. So that's the second one. The third one, covering your awrah. It's satr al-awrah. You have to cover your awrah. What's your awrah? For men, it's between the navel, so the navel and the knee. So the belly button till their knees. They have to cover that. They can pray like that, even if they don't have a shirt. So long as they cover their belly button and also until their knee, they can pray. And for women, it's their whole body except their hands and their face. So the ends of the hand, the hand where you shake people's hands, that's like the part. They don't have to cover that. But everything else they have to cover, even their legs. And yeah, so that's awrah. The fourth requirement is istiqbal al-qibla, to face the qibla. And you face the Kaaba wherever you are. So if you don't face the Kaaba and you're praying, your salah is not valid. So yeah, that's why you always have to know where the qibla is before you pray. Okay, and the fifth pillar is dukhul al-waqt. So the arrival of the prayer time. What does that mean? So Fajr, when does Fajr arrive? You can't just pray Fajr anytime you want. It's a specific time. طلوع الفجر الصادق, that's what they call it. When the true Fajr comes, light in the sky. Different times, different places on earth, but there's a light that emerges, and then that's when Mutkhana. It's Fajr. And when it's Dhuhr, it's like when the sun reaches the middle of the sky and then it goes slightly to the west. That's called Zawal. And Asr is when everyone's everyone's shadow is equal to their self. So when your shadow is equal to you, and it's a little bit also taller than you. So it has to be a little bit taller than you, your shadow. That's when it's Asr. Maghrib is when the sun sets, and Isha is when it's different in different places. But sometime after Maghrib, they say until like Shafaq al-Ahmar. Yeah, so Isha comes when the red the red stuff in the sky disappears. But it's different for different places. Sometimes it could be just like after Maghrib, usually, if it's not like winter and stuff like that, it's like 30 minutes. No, it's like 30 minutes to an hour, give or take. 40 minutes to an hour. It's not always the same. You have to make sure where you are. And that's when it becomes Isha. Isha is, you can pray Isha until it's Fajr, the Tulu al-Fajr. So that's times of the prayer. So you cannot pray unless the time of the prayer has arrived. Yeah. So the sixth pillar is to know it's obligatory. What do you to know that prayer, that the 5 prayers that you're praying, Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib and Isha, you have to know that they're obligatory. You don't think it's Sunnah. You don't think you can, and you have to know it's wajib, and you have to come with it. So that's the other requirement. The 7th requirement is, and not to think, وَلَا يَعْتَقِدْ فَرْضًا مِنْ فُرُوضِهَا سُنَّةً. So not to think any obligatory act in the Salah is Sunnah, like reading Fatiha. So if one thinks that Salah, reading Fatiha is Sunnah, or doing Ruku' is Sunnah, or doing Tashahhud al-Akhir, the last At-Tahiyyat al-Mubarakat, if you think that's Sunnah, then actually that's you haven't met the requirements for prayer, and your prayer is not going to be valid. And the last requirement is وَاجْتِنَابُ مُبْطِلَاتِهَا, to avoid what nullifies or cancels the prayer. Now, many things cancel the prayer, as I mentioned here, like farting, or talking too much, eating, playing, moving too much. What else? There's things that nullify the prayer. Or let's say the opposite gender touches you and you're of age, you're like over 15, you're adult. So anything that breaks your wudu or break your salah. There's other things that break your salah, as mentioned. So you have to avoid those things, yeah. And laughing and all these things. And and there's other things, inshallah, you learn as you go higher in the fiqh books. Like even having the intention to cut the prayer, or I need to stop the prayer in the middle of the prayer, or things like that. But that's actually a little too high of a level to mention right now. So those are the 8 requirements for prayer. May Allah make us of those who pray well and pray with a present heart, and meet the requirements and exceed them, inshallah. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.